Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello there. Wildfire smoke will continue to intrude a bit into northern and eastern West Virginia on Friday, affecting air quality, bringing some smoky skies. Then, as we head through Friday night into Saturday, we'll start to see the smoke plume pushed off to the east. This is with a warm front moving into the area, and with this warm front will come some scattered showers and storms, bringing a widespread slight to marginal risk for some severe weather. For rainfall, worth noting that today's drought monitor reflects some great improvement. We are still at moderate to severe locally looking east and north, but 4 weeks ago we had moderate to severe drought near and north of Charleston. So things have moved in a nice direction where the drought is concerned. A stray shower or thunderstorm possible looking north this evening, then relatively quiet into Friday, but Friday afternoon we'll have some showers and storms, more isolated in nature initially, widespread rain that will be heavy at times for our Saturday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Smoke is more of an issue for D.C. and New York on Friday. We may see some smoky skies come back our way with a cold front into Sunday, but we'll keep an eye on that. Panhandle forecast. Looking at temperatures staying at 64 in New Cumberland overnight, 68 Moundsville with a stray thunderstorm, 93 there tomorrow, still hot, but a little improved from today. Martinsburg, 68 tonight and 89 tomorrow. More notably improved there. Smoke is part of that. Looking to Elkins for some hazy skies tonight in the low of 68, then a high of 91 with a stray storm. Still in the mid-90s toward Ripley. We'll see Marlinton at 67. Again, a hazy night. Winfield, some smoky skies. Charleston, 73 tonight, 94 on Friday, but having a hard time seeing 90s in the forecast after Friday, so we will trend cooler as we also trend more active this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
This is Metro News Hotline, presented by Salango Law. Metro News Hotline is a 3-hour audio tour
navigating the world of sports, news, entertainment, tech, and more
from a Mountain State point of view. Hotline is a no politics zone.
You can join the conversation.
Text the show at 304-825-5304.
304-TALK-304.
Here's the host for Metro News Hotline, Dave Weekley.
All right, welcome back to the show. It's 5:06 in West Virginia. Time to start the third and final hour of our program today, Metro News Hotline. Thanks so much for tuning in. You know, we are here with you every weekday afternoon on the Metro News Radio Network at 3:06 and take you right through until 6 o'clock. So we're a little bit ahead of the game if you just tuned in. We've been grinding for a couple of hours, but we got a lot of business we got to take care of before we get out of here at 6 o'clock. By the way, if you just tuned in, it's a one-way relationship. We're happy to have you. Thanks for finding us. But you can always check out our podcast. It's available everywhere. But you know, a great place to start is the website, WVMetronews.com. Our podcast lives there. Just go to the front page, WVMetronews.com. Hit the podcast link. You'll find us, and you'll find all the other shows that are produced on the network there, in addition to, like, tons of West Virginia-related news that gets updated 24/7, and it's a great place to be. Also, if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook Live or on the Metro News TV app, thanks for tuning in with the audio and the video today. We do appreciate it. We're trying to do our best for you. We will I've got a couple of things I want to talk about in this segment, but a little bit later on in this half hour, we'll play In or Out. That'll be at 5:25. Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, joins us at 5:33. And our question of the day concerns college baseball, and Kevin really follows WVU baseball, probably is closer than any of the local media guys, so I'm really interested in his take on our question of the day. We'll do that, and there's some other Mountaineer-related topics I want to get into. That will be with him. That'll be at 5:33. And then as we move a little closer to the top of the hour, we'll get into more of your responses to our question of the day. And, you know, I guess technically the All-Star break ends in less than 2 hours. It seems like it's been a while since we've had any games, but our long week-long nightmare without regular season games in Major League Baseball comes to an end tonight. And what time does that game start between the Phils and the Mets? Let me just find that score. Let me see. I've got that. Mets at Phillies. That game's going to be 6 o'clock. So we're less than an hour away from that. Less than an hour away as the Mets and the Phillies get the second half of the baseball season officially started. Although in terms of games, we've gone a little past 81 games in a 162-game season. The Phillies 54-43. The Mets have been a mess. They're 40-57 as they begin the second half of the season. And you know what? I don't have to tell you about how hot it is outside. When we came on the air today, 91 degrees, and I got this nice note that started the text messages we received on the show today, 304-552. Hey, Dave, shout out to Chef Paul, entertaining the capital market today in the heat. I forgot about that. So if you listen to Chef Paul Smith, who comes on our show every Monday to talk about food and the restaurant business, he does a cooking class over at the capital market every other Thursday, and today was his day, and I bet he was sweating it out there. But there's one listener who was over there and really appreciated it, and we do too. And we'll by the way, we have him on the show every Monday at 4 o'clock, and you don't have to wait until he comes on the show to ask your questions. If you send something to me for Chef Paul that you thought of, even though the segment isn't talking about cooking at the time, I see all that stuff. And I put it in the hopper, and I'll make sure that he gets it the next time he's on the show. So just be aware of that. All right, let's see. Let me do a quick reset on our question of the day and get some responses to that. This one kind of slipped by me yesterday, and I think it's worthy of our consideration. And it's about college baseball and robot umpires. The NCAA Rules Subcommittee has approved the usage of the ABS challenge system in college baseball. And the ABS challenge system, which is in the major leagues this year, if you're not familiar with that, that is essentially robot umps, where whether a pitch is a ball or a strike, that's looked at with the robot umpires, and it's not determined simply by the home plate ump. So the question of the day is this, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Are you ready for robot umps in college baseball, or is destroying the human element of the game a step too far? Once again, the question, are you ready for robot umpires in college baseball, or is destroying the human element of the game a step too far? The text line here is 304-TALK 304, 304-8255-304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, three E's, WEEKLEY. Now, obviously, the ABS system is currently in Major League Baseball, where you have two challenges, and there are only three players that can challenge a call: the pitcher, the catcher, or the hitter. And that is the way this is going to work in college baseball, with the exception of in college baseball, you're going to have three challenges per game. And if you exhaust all of your challenges and a game gets into extra innings, you will receive one more challenge to use. It was in the SEC tournament this year, and apparently it went well enough that if you have the technology available at your facility, and I'm sure that's probably going to be the case for both West Virginia and Marshall, that if both teams agree, you're going to have that ABS system in effect. So here's just a couple of responses to this. Here's one from Joey. He says, Dave, baseball challenges seem to be quicker, and they get it right more often than football, so I'm good with it. Coop, have you ever seen an ABS challenge that was wrong? I mean, once you see the box and whether the ball is touching the box or not touching the box, it's a pretty quick process.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, I don't even know how would it be wrong?
Well, I mean, for example, if you saw in an ABS challenge and you saw that the ball was actually out of the zone, and then the umpire, for whatever reason, ruled it a strike.
Oh no, I think
that's never happened.
No, I think we're seeing the data that they're seeing. So
Yeah.
I mean, we're making the same calls off of those things.
So that's pretty interesting. But that does happen in football, right? Where sometimes you'll see a call, and even after you've watched the replay, the right call seems to still be in question.
Football really well. Number one, ABS doesn't have reasonable that threshold of the spectrum threshold that you need to overturn a call. The thing where it has to be indisputable evidence to overturn, and then you have to listen to the language and whether it was confirmed or if it stands.
Right.
When it's black or white. It's binary. It's either yes or no. So I think that helps a lot. In that if it's in the box, it's in the box. It's just a strike or it's not a strike.
Just talking about instant replay and that, I believe I've got this right. Isn't that the way it's going to work in the Big 12 this year, that we're actually going to see the replay center, that there'll be cameras and microphones? I think we're actually going to be able to get into the replay center to see what they're actually looking at and talking about before a call is either upheld or reversed.
I'm very surprised by some of the response that we've had on our text line with the people that are actually open to the robot umps. I know. We had several people that was like, just make all the calls robot calls, which I don't know a year ago if we had many people on that side of things.
Well, let me give you a little bit of data on this that I had. And I was surprised by that too, because some of the data on this about how fans feel about this stuff really doesn't reflect some of the responses that we've got. I really kind of like it. I just want them to get the call right. That's kind of the way I feel about it. Let me get to this data. This is pretty interesting here in regards to this. Major League Baseball, 38% of Americans support the technology. Only 38%. 20% oppose the change. 42% remain undecided. The survey found 21% say ABS will encourage them to watch more games, though 54% report it won't affect their viewing habits. Additionally, 25% of respondents wanted increased automation in sports with less reliance on human officials. 43% prefer traditional human oversight. My thing is, whether or not you've got the ABS system in effect does not really impact my ability to watch the game.
Yeah, that was a weird question for me, because that, whether they had ABS or not would not influence whether I watched the game or not. That's kind of weird.
No, that might have influenced me if that was the first ever game.
Yeah, sure, but not as a standing thing. It's like, hey, they do an ABS this series? Oh,
great, I'm in.
Better watch. That's no conversation that's ever been had. I don't know where they get that from on the survey.
So once again, the hotline question of the day, and it's sponsored by Salango Law. Are you ready for robot umps in college baseball, or is destroying the human element of the game a step too far? More of your responses. Harley says, Dave, after watching the college playoffs, I don't know what a strike is, and I still don't like the robots. Well,
I guess I can see that.
There was a lot of chatter about West Virginia and ball and strike calls at the College World Series in Omaha. Let's see here.
That's just baseball, though.
I know.
That's just baseball.
It is. I agree. Here is Andy Smith. Dave, ABS challenges are quick and ensure proper calls. Replays in the NFL and like what we see in the World Cup are ridiculously long. I'm all in on that response.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am, too. I honestly like the ABS better than I do instant replay in the NFL. I don't necessarily love MLB instant replay, but the ABS system is pretty streamlined.
Yeah, it is pretty streamlined. Let me get a couple of scores here from the British Open today. So with the time change and the fact that they're playing at Royal Birkdale in England, everybody's done. Everybody's done. Round one is done. Jackson Suber has the lead after an opening round 5 under par 65 today. And just going through, I'm not going to give you the whole leaderboard, but I did want to just focus on a couple of players, in particular Bryson DeChambeau. And DeChambeau is kind of an interesting case here, where you can really get penalized if you get outside the fairway. Although watching some of the action today, it looked like the course there at Royal Birkdale was kind of burned up. And the rough wasn't the normal problem that it is in majors. But DeChambeau had a bogey at 18, but still finished the day at 3 under par and had an opening round of 67. We have a little bit of sound from Bryson DeChambeau from Sky Sports. Here is DeChambeau talking about his opening round.
It was a hard-fought battle out there. The wind was switching quite a bit, but it was fun seeing a lot of the fans going at us, and they were rooting for all of us. And it was fun just seeing the ups and downs of the group, but we all played pretty well. So it was a lot of fun, and there's some just driving holes out there that I got to work on. Other than that, I iron played it really well and made some good putts and 3-putted once, but that's life.
Yeah, talk us through the course. Obviously, it's running super fast at the moment, but what did you find out after playing a competitive round with card in hand?
I think you've got to be a lot more strategic out on the golf course, and I feel like I did a really good job today of being incredibly strategic and focused super hard and placing it in the right places. Besides 18, I placed the ball in some good areas, but just need to get more fairways. Other than that, I felt like my strategy was nice today.
Yeah, as a group, you've all had a relatively good day. Do you think that standard will stay for the afternoon and that wind seems to be picking up a little bit for you boys?
I think so. It's difficult to say what's going to happen. You never know out here. What I can say is there's a lot of good scores, so we're all playing pretty well, and I like it when the test is hard and difficult, and it definitely makes for a fun championship.
So there you go. That's Bryson DeChambeau after his round of minus 367 in the opening round of the last major of the year, the British Open in England. Cam Young today at a 67, Heinrich Stenson 68, Jordan Smith 68. A lot of the big-name pros, Scotty Scheffler, the current world number one, he shot a 68 today. They're all still in the running. Obviously, they're going to make it for the weekend if they play well tomorrow. I did see Rory today. Where did Rory finish? I think he shot 72. So many golfers. Matt Fitzpatrick and Roy, they played together, and they were both at plus 272 today. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for In or Out.
Hi, I'm Donna Spencer, a highway engineering technician at Civil and Environmental Consultants in Bridgeport, West Virginia. At CEC, we are employee-owned, and I truly own my role. I am close to home, working on local projects that matter, and it feels good knowing my hard work directly benefits my community. At CEC, we engineer progress in the great state of West Virginia.
Find out what CEC can do for you. Visit cecinc.com.
Ready to make this boating season unforgettable? Head to Lou Wendell Marine Sales, family owned and operated for over 40 years and West Virginia's largest Avalon pontoon dealer. Lou and his sons are boating experts from sales to service to repairs. And right now, their lot is packed with incredible inventory and some of the best deals of the season. Whether it's weekends on the lake or sunset cruises with the family, Lou Wendell Marine Sales has your perfect boat waiting. Because they don't just sell boats, they sell family fun. Visit LouWendellMarineSales.com today.
You can call us at 800-765-8255. Text us at 304-825-5304.
Or tweet at WEEKLEY.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
Need a truck that's ready for work, weekends, and everything in between? Right now at Dan Cabot GMC, get up to $10,000 off select new GMC Sierra 1500, or save up to $4,000 off all new GMC Canyon Elevations, offering bold styles, advanced technology, and everyday practicality. Come explore our all-new GMC Yukons, built for busy families and big adventures. All this and more at Dan Cava GMC in Bridgeport. Shop Thorold.
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
The best selection of WVU apparel is at Daniel's Men's Store. Exclusive designs you won't find anywhere else. Stylish, sophisticated, and unmistakably Mountaineer. Shop in store or online at danielsofmorgantown.com.
Of course, the LVAD was brought into my life because I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
Where he was in the course, we really had to go towards an LVAD.
At that point, I was committed. At that point, I wanted to get better, and I wanted to see what this machine was going to do for me.
With this therapy, he's thriving, doing well. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
3 guys before the game.
I love gear from events. Okay. When my daughter was little and participating in karate, I mean, we'd go up to Weir and be at an event. I'm like, right, I have a t-shirt we got.
Available on Metro News Television.
Oh my, if you guys only knew. If you only knew. All right, let's play in or out. Every day at this time, we focus on this stuff we talk about at the office, sometimes. We call it in or out. The setup is simple. 3 categories. Food or beverage, gut reaction. Finally, this one's about a celebrity, the topics of which change daily. Let's get started with food or beverage. Coop, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Because Campbell's has just introduced a new line of protein soups. 5 flavors that deliver 20 grams of protein per serving. 4 of the flavors are new. Lemon pepper chicken, homestyle chicken and rotini, Southwest black bean, and Mediterranean lentil. Protein soup, in or out. Protein soup from Campbell's.
So what were the brands again, or the flavors?
Lemon pepper chicken, homestyle chicken and rotini, Southwest black bean, and Mediterranean lentil.
Man, I don't really get it because they've had these flavors forever. I'm a big soup eater. These are not new flavors. So is this like the low-fat thing where they just discover stuff that was already low-fat and then they slap the label on it? So this already had like chicken in it so they can say, hey, protein.
20 grams of protein per serving.
That's what it always had. I mean, hey, a can of tuna also has 20 grams of protein, and it's only like 90 calories. Anyway, you know what? I'm in on the soups. Get them if you want them. But I'm out on this like protein-forward craze thing, man. It's been around forever, and it just makes people eat wrong because they get obsessed with it. So I'm kind of out on that.
Your wife sent a response to this. She was not in on this.
Yeah,
she wasn't having it. Ryan, what are your thoughts on this? Protein soup from Campbell's, in or out?
I'm with Coop. I don't understand like the whole. It's like, oh, I want protein in my diet, but I don't want to change my diet. It's like, well, you can't have your cake and eat it too, you know?
But you can get your protein cake and you can have your cake and eat it too.
So I'm going to be out.
Going to be out? I don't really have a good history with this stuff, although lemon pepper chicken sounds kind of good. I think I'm going to be slightly out. Gut reaction is next. Oh, a simple felt tip pen that helps save the Apollo 11 mission just sold for $850,000 at Sotheby's. Buzz Aldrin used the dented silver plastic pen to fix a broken circuit breaker aboard the lunar module during the 1969 mission. A broken pen going for $850,000. In or out?
These are the things, like, I just don't have that gene. Like, I think of that, and to me, the story's the treasure. Like the pen, what use is there for the actual pen? The story is the utility, not the pen. But, hey, I'm not going to yuck somebody's yum. If somebody had the money, I'm going to assume they could afford it, so whatever.
All right. Ryan, an $850,000 pen that helps save the Apollo 11 mission. In or out?
Have I ever mentioned Todd Howard on the show before?
I don't think so.
He's a video game developer. He's very obnoxious, but he's also like a golden boy. He has an Omega Speedmaster, which is like the same watch that Neil Armstrong had on Apollo, and it's like thousands of dollars and very expensive watch. And this kind of reminds me of that. It's a very simple thing made exorbitantly expensive because it was in space. I think I'll be out.
Going to be out. Yeah, watches that have actually been to the moon are kind of an interesting topic. I'm going to be slightly in on this because if I'm out, like, you never know, man. Buzz Aldrin could come at you like a spider monkey.
He is feisty.
Yeah. You know?
He is feisty.
Finally,
he might have a record collection, too.
This one is about a celebrity. Oh, guess who's going to be the director of the new G.I. Joe movie at Paramount? Danny McBride. Danny McBride. And you're thinking, oh, The Righteous Gemstones, Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals. Yeah, that Danny McBride. Danny McBride, Coop, in or out?
Honestly, all three of those shows are extraordinarily hilarious. And I have no idea why this is true. As surprising as this is and as incongruent as it sounds, when you said this, I was like, man, I think he could make it work. I have no idea why I think that. I don't have any idea if the guy can direct anything, but I think he can make it work. I'm going to be in.
Ryan.
Joe.
Yeah, there you go. Ryan, what are your thoughts here? Danny McBride's going to direct the new G.I. Joe movie, in or out?
If the new He-Man movie is anything to go off of, then they just need to focus less on, like, telling a deep story and more just advertising toys, because that's what the series was made for. So I'll be in.
You'll be in. All right. I'm going to be in as well. Look what we're finding out. Did you know that there were 4 G.I. Joe movies? There are. There's 4.
Man, I checked out after the first one, but yeah.
A good move. Let's take a break. This is Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Today's Metro News television forecast is brought to you by Lou Wendell Marine Sales. We sell family fun.
Hello there. Wildfire smoke will continue to intrude a bit into northern and eastern West Virginia on Friday, affecting air quality, bringing some smoky skies. Then, as we head through Friday night into Saturday, we'll start to see the smoke plume pushed off to the east. This is with a warm front moving into the area, and with this warm front will come some scattered showers and storms, bringing a widespread slight to marginal risk for some severe weather. For rainfall, worth noting that today's drought monitor reflects some great improvement. We are still at moderate to severe locally looking east and north, but 4 weeks ago we had moderate to severe drought near and north of Charleston. So things have moved in a nice direction where the drought is concerned. A stray shower or thunderstorm possible looking north this evening, then relatively quiet into Friday, but Friday afternoon we'll have some showers and storms, more isolated in nature initially, widespread rain that will be heavy at times for our Saturday. FlyCRW forecast, it starts at home. Smoke is more of an issue for D.C. and New York on Friday. We may see some smoky skies come back our way with a cold front into Sunday, but we'll keep an eye on that. Panhandle forecast. Looking at temperatures staying at 64 in New Cumberland overnight, 68 Moundsville with a stray thunderstorm, 93 there tomorrow, still hot, but a little improved from today. Martinsburg, 68 tonight and 89 tomorrow. More notably improved there. Smoke is part of that. Looking to Elkins for some hazy skies tonight in the low of 68, then a high of 91 with a stray storm. Still in the mid-90s toward Ripley. We'll see Marlinton at 67. Again, a hazy night. Winfield, some smoky skies. Charleston, 73 tonight, 94 on Friday, but having a hard time seeing 90s in the forecast after Friday, so we will trend cooler as we also trend more active this weekend.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong. And they're all backed by the peace of mind protection of the industry's best limited warranty. Visit your Honda Marine dealer today and find out why it's more than an engine. It's your time on the water.
I love the state of West Virginia. I've met some of my best friends. I'm excited to be back. I still have my pickup truck. I still have four-wheel drive. One of the ladies asked me in the forum if I know how to drive in the snow. I told her, oh yeah, I spent 5 years in Elkins.
See, that's one of those things. Now that you're coming to Fairmont, you've handled the Elkins winter.
Yeah, if you can handle Randolph County.
I mean, you're moving. This is basically coming back to Florida here when you get to Fairmont. I mean, this is easy.
It's going to be a breeze.
Sportsline on Metro News Television. If it matters in West Virginia, it's being talked about here.
Gentlemen, I could not care less if you read this message. All right, moving on to the next one.
304 Talk 304. Well, they said it, not me.
Oh, that's terrible. Read the guy's phone.
Maybe I will, maybe I won't.
Join Dave Wilson and TJ Meadows Monday through Friday for Talkline. Available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
All right, welcome back. 26 minutes till the hour. Metro News Hotline. Man, it's been a busy day around here. Still trying to get my mind wrapped around that Danny McBride directing G.I. Joe. I'm with you, Coop. You know what? That's what G.I. Joe. And I know we're going to get to Kevin here in a second, but I think I need to say this. I didn't realize there were 4 G.I. Joe movies.
Yeah, I had
and
no
I think
idea.
I've watched like 10 minutes of the first one.
Yeah.
But I mean, from what I can tell, this series is really absent of humor. And maybe he could put some life in this thing.
It needs to be like a movie full. It needs to be a movie that's basically envisioned like it was meant to star like Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody, where it has like one-liners all throughout it. It needs to have over-the-top action and virtually no plot. Like, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean what I remember of the first movie. There was like something with Cobra Commander, and like there was like some. Who cares? Nobody cares about any of that, man. It's just Yo Joe, man. I mean, it should be the easiest layup in movie
I got
history.
another one for you. You know the character Snake Eyes?
Yes.
There's a Snake Eyes spin-off movie.
No,
Did you know that?
I knew that there was one, and I didn't bother to watch it. Now, I wasn't one of those kids, but growing up, Snake Eyes was a bit of a cult hero among people that love G.I. Joe. And I just heard the movie was terrible. I never had any much interest in watching it. But they should be able to do this franchise right. That's one of those things that just boggles the mind. As many decent toy movies that they've made. I mean, I'm not saying that they're all Oscar winners, but there's been some decent blockbusters out there, right?
Sure.
That G.I. Joe, which has the easiest plot of all of them, you just can't get it right. Frankly, they haven't really got they got like 2 Transformers movies right, and that's all too. So I mean, they've kind of screwed up that franchise as well.
Hey, before we get to Kev, one other thing about entertainment. I watched the first episode of Lucky last night on Apple TV. Have you seen that?
No.
Really entertaining.
What is it?
It's just called Lucky.
Which one is it? What is it about?
It's about a woman and her boyfriend. They steal a bunch of money. The boyfriend leaves, and she's got to escape Las Vegas to get away from the mob. And her dad, Timothy Oliphant's in prison. It's actually pretty entertaining.
That sounds good. Yeah.
It was actually pretty entertaining. It'd been a while since I'd seen a scene where somebody set off a flare inside a car.
Oh yeah, those are always good.
That
scenes.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that
was a lot of fun. But it was pretty good. All right, let me get Kevin Kinder, BlueGoldNews.com, on the show to try to get this thing back on track. How you doing today, Kevin?
Yeah, I think that's a big ask to get this back on track.
You're right. It is a big ask. Hey, I got to tell you, I found out about this last night, and you're one of the first guys I thought of when I saw this, that college baseball is going to have the ABS system next year. Schools that are equipped to set up for this, and I'm sure all the schools that play baseball in the Big 12 are in this category. Probably Marshall as well. They're going to have the ABS system in college baseball next year. What's your reaction to that?
Several different things. I've been digging around a little bit, doing some research, trying to figure out how it might affect games. West Virginia does have TrackMan.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a staff of dozens that man it during games, and so I think there'll be no problem with them having it. I would guess that the Big 12 would say, hey, we're going to have it for all league games. As long as it moves as quickly as it does in the major leagues, I think I'm okay with it. You just don't want it to be 2 and 3 minute delays like some of the other reviews are. But if it's hey, I called for a review, somebody looks at it, yes, no, here's the call, I think it's okay. And I was kind of surprised. I was looking at it, the overturn rate in both the SEC tournament, which used it this year, and Major League Baseball is over 50%,
mm-hmm.
which kind of, throws a high, hard one inside at the thought that, hey, umpires do a really good job. Maybe the ball's just being thrown so fast and so hard and with so much motion now that you need some help with it. So, if it makes calls better, I think I'm okay with it.
You know what? I haven't seen every WVU baseball game from last season, but I did watch a few. I watched most of them, I'm guessing. You know what? I thought the level of umpiring in these games was actually pretty good.
Oh, I don't think it's any worse than anywhere else. I think there was good umpiring there. I just think, man, it is really hard to get a ball that's right on the black, and you're trying to judge, where the batter's standing, his height, his stance, what's a normal stance, all that kind of stuff. Pin it all together. Maybe it's just too much to judge to make, to get up in a really high, rate of success. So, yeah, I think everyone wants consistency. And if this makes things a little bit more consistent, all good.
Well, here's the thing also. Once we got into the weeds with the ABS system at the major league level, suddenly we started dealing with a little bit of strategy, right? You get a bad call in the first inning, and you're thinking, well, I don't know if I want to burn a challenge here unless I'm absolutely sure this call is going to be overturned because I may need this call later on down the line. The way this thing worked in the SEC, as opposed to what you see in the major leagues, where a major league game you begin with 2 challenges. In the SEC tournament, you had 3. I just don't know. I think this is kind of one of those things where if you're a head coach in college baseball, you might start pulling your hair out if some 18-year-old guy starts challenging calls in the first half inning of the game. I think there's probably going to have to be a little bit of oversight on this, and probably the coaches are going to have to coach the players up on this a little bit.
Oh, there's no question about that. If you get a pitcher or a catcher that you think is really good, that's fine.
Yeah.
You can cut them loose a little bit. But yeah, I would bet things at the plate are going to be a little bit different. And still, even 3, and even with the success rate we were talking about, hey, you can't just go bombing them out there, because if you do it 6 times and you hit the normal success overturn rate, you're going to be out, in the 3rd or 4th inning. So, yeah, I just hoping it doesn't slow things down too much. But, I think it's something whose time has come in college.
I agree. And I think bottom line, we all just want to see the calls right? You don't want to lose a game on a bad call. So, I mean, if this just increases the accuracy and kind of takes a little pressure off the home plate umpire, I think this is good. I agree. I think it's a good idea. But I am surprised that it came along so quickly.
Well, I was surprised the SEC basically changed a rule in the middle of the season.
No kidding.
Okay, we're going to put it in, use it in the tournament, and it wasn't there in the regular season. That was kind of odd, but I think that should have been kind of a harbinger. Hey, man, this thing is coming down the tracks. Better get out of the way if you don't like it.
Hey, earlier in the show today, we played a clip of the football coach Tony Elliott at UVA at the ACC Media Day. He met the media today. James Franklin from Virginia Tech met them today. We'll probably play some of that maybe tomorrow. I'll go through it later. But I did notice that Bo Pribula, who's a former quarterback at Penn State, has been named as the starting quarterback for UVA. So he'll be starting under center, or out of the shotgun, I guess, for UVA when they play WVU in Charlotte in September. You probably know this. Was he ever on the field in that game West Virginia played at Penn State 3 years ago? Because I think he may have been in the game.
I don't know if he got in right at the end or something like that. He obviously wasn't the starter, I don't think, if I'm remembering correctly. But, if he did, Penn State kind of controlled that game. So, there wasn't a whole lot, going on there, that I think it would have had a huge impact. And maybe I've just blanked it out. I don't know, because those were a couple of tough games for West Virginia.
Yeah, they were. I just kind of tried to just thinking about this. I thought that maybe he had come on the field for Penn State and had lined up as a flanker, and he was in the game when Aller was still in at quarterback for the Nits.
You may be right there.
Okay,
Dave. That one's if you pulled that one out, give me a little bit of heads up next time. I will have it before we come look at it.
Hey, we talked about this last week. Were you surprised were you surprised at all with the way the Major League Baseball draft went in terms of WVU players that were selected, or maybe selected later than you anticipated?
I don't think so, because I'm starting to learn a little bit more about how about how major league teams and organizations do this kind of stuff. By the way, you were right. Perbula was 1 for 1 in the game at Mountaineer Field. He threw a pass.
You know what? I wasn't even thinking about that game. I was thinking about the game at Happy Valley. Anyway, I'll check that later. But thanks for confirming that for me.
Yeah. So he threw one pass. I think he was in on the last series.
Okay.
In the game up at Beaver Stadium. No, I guess on the surprising thing, am I surprised Armani Guzman didn't get taken? In one way, yeah. In another way, no, because maybe there aren't a lot of teams that value so much of what he does. You look at somebody like Victor Scott, who's kind of a similar player, but, who's been having some struggles at the plate. Armani came on late and just went on an absolute tear at the end of the season. I think teams are probably going to want to say, okay, can he do that, at the plate consistently over the course of a season? And maybe that's why he didn't go in the first 10 rounds in the bonus pool rounds. And so at that point he said, no, I'm coming back. No, I don't think so. I don't see anything that was really egregious. You see what teams are looking for. You see what teams are built on. And I think it kind of played out true to form.
All right, got to leave it there. Kevin, thanks for jumping on with us today. I do appreciate it. And you did a great job getting this show back on track.
No, not sure about that. Got to give you that one credit. Thanks a lot, Dave.
Kevin Kidner, BlueGoldNews.com. Kevin, by the way, is always with us every Thursday at 5:33. Let's take a break. We'll come back with more in just a moment.
This is Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
Morning, TJ Meadows.
Good morning, sir. It's yet another beautiful day to be in pursuit of happiness, is it not?
I like the optimism. Let's see if we can take care of that by the end of the show today, shall we? Any thoughts, Mr. Meadows?
Talkline, available on mobile, Roku, Fire TV, smart TVs, and online at WVMetroNewsTV.com.
Leading the efforts to build a stronger West Virginia, the High Technology Foundation has a proven plan to strengthen and diversify our state's economy. The I-79 Technology Park's high-capacity infrastructure continues to attract advanced federal operations that are driving economic growth. This keeps our young, educated residents in the state and brings West Virginians home. The High Technology Foundation, building a stronger West Virginia. Learn more today at WVHTF.org.
For over 20 years, Dan Cava Toyota World has been more than a dealership. We're family-owned, community-focused, and committed to taking care of our customers long after the sale. Our commitment doesn't stop when you drive off the lot. With factory-trained technicians and a service team you can trust, we're here to keep your vehicle running at its best for years to come. So when it's time to get your next vehicle, choose the dealership that's been serving the community for generations. Visit Dan Cava Toyota World in Fairmont. Shop the world!
In 1914, the same year the first commercial flight soared and the Panama Canal opened, Greer Industries was born. Herbert and Agnes Greer began in Morgantown, West Virginia, striking the first pick into the limestone formation that would become the backbone of one of the state's great industrial legacies. From the roads we drive on, the buildings we build, and the communities we serve, Greer Industries has been delivering quality for decades. At Greer Industries, we've been improving lives for more than a century.
I had a severe heart attack in November of 2024. And then I entered into congestive heart failure.
We really had to go towards an LVAD. And not only is he living, he's thriving.
You own a boat because you love spending time on the water. Choose the outboard that allows you to make the most of it. Honda Marine's legendary reliability, ease of maintenance, and powerful performance keep you going strong.
At Daniels Men's Store, exceptional style begins with a curated selection and finishes with a flawless fit. When it's time to buy a suit, Daniels is here to make sure yours is one of a kind. Discover tailored suits you'll only find in store at Daniels.
I'm Sean Kovich, Mountaineer golf coach. When disaster strikes your home, business, or golf game, call the restoration company the Mountaineers call. Panhandle Cleaning and Restoration.
We're going to do public math, so it's 31 divided by 4.
Yeah, just under 8 per win.
Just mark it down.
Put Tony and I down for 8, Coach Hunter. Put us on the prediction show for 8. We already got it. There's the math. Just go.
Sportsline on Metro News Television.
All right, welcome back to the show. It is 11 minutes till the hour. We still got a little bit of time here, so if you got something you want to hear us address, don't forget, you can always send us text messages. You don't have to always make them about the question of the day. It can be a response to something we're talking about, or maybe some constructive criticism. We're not above it, you know. The text line here is 304-TALK, 304-825-5304. I'm on Exit Weekly, WEEKLEY, one word, 3 E's. WEEKLEY. Nice segment with Kevin Kinder talking about ABS system going into college baseball. Coop, we kind of started the conversation on the program today with the Chase Burns thing, and I think we should probably wrap it there too. So this was a kind of a big day for the Cincinnati Reds. Admittedly, a small market team stepping up and paying one of the players that they think will be a future star. And I guess you could make the argument that he's already a current star with the way he's pitched this year. Giving Chase Burns a 7-year, $105 million contract. I think just to kind of retrace what we were talking about in the 3 o'clock hour, I think this is a deal that kind of works for both the player and the club as well. The Reds, if Burns continues to pitch the way he's pitched this season at this level, this is going to turn out to be a very team-friendly contract. Conversely, for a 23-year-old guy to go into a room, sign his name to a piece of paper, and earn generational wealth, I mean, the dude could get hit by a bus tomorrow, right? So I think it kind of works for both sides.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't have any real problem either way with this. I think it really. I mean, I guess the absolute worst thing that could happen if the guy completely flames out and doesn't have much of a career at all. But I mean, that's probably not likely, and it's obvious that Major League Baseball teams are going to have to start taking these risks, and more guys are. I mean, we don't know who among these guys that signed huge early are going to work out. You know, there's a lot of these guys out there. Jackson Holliday, you know, I think he signed a big extension last year, and man, his time at the big league level has not been very good so far. You know, I mean, how's that money going to work out? You know, it looks like that some of these guys are going to be fine, but some of them may not be.
And when you put it in terms of the history of the Reds, wasn't this well, first of all, this is the biggest contract ever given to a player. Bob Nightingale had this stat. The biggest contract ever given to a player with less than 4 years service time, which is, you don't really expect that from the Reds.
Again, but it's modern baseball. It's the things they're going to have to do. We don't know what it's going to look like after the CBA, but this is what modern baseball looks like. I mean, you have to go out and you got these guys that you draft out of college that you expect to be close to Major League ready, and maybe you got to sew them up a little quicker.
Yeah. The other thing is, that, correct me if I'm wrong here, this is like the third biggest contract in the history of the Reds, right?
Yeah.
It's behind Votto's deal. And I actually thought, I don't know why I thought this, that Homer Bailey's deal was actually bigger than Ken Griffey Jr.'s, but it wasn't, right? Yeah. Jr.'s deal was actually bigger than Bailey's deal. And I guess the Bailey deal is, you know, kind of a cautionary tale here in this situation, right? Because it's kind of a similar situation where you have a player that you selected very high in the draft who looked like he was going to be a future star and for one reason or another didn't really work out. It just seems like this is not the kind of thing that smaller market teams do. But I think on the surface, I mean, this deal has no opt-outs. It has no option years. When the devil's in the details, I don't think there's any power for Burns in terms of trade value or teams he refuses to be traded to. I mean, it looks like it's pretty cut and dry.
I don't think it's all that dissimilar from some of the deals the Pirates have been giving their prospects. I mean, the
Connor Griffin deal.
The Connor Griffin deal, yeah. I mean, they went out and did kind of the same thing for a guy that you're hoping is going to make the major league level and be a contributor, better than a contributor, for a long time to come. But you just really don't know yet. I mean, you hope it's going to work out.
Yeah, and the other thing about these deals for Griffin and for Burns now, by the time these deals expire, if they stay healthy, they're going to have a chance for another deal on the other end where they could make really big money. But the idea that Burns could anchor the Red staff for the next 7 years on the average of $15 million a year, that's below value, way below value.
Seems great. That seems great. And when you add in Hunter Green's contract, that they have him under contract until 2029, I think, or something like that, or maybe 30, I can't remember. Anyway, he still has some, and that's an extraordinarily good contract for the Reds as well. So, I mean, you would have 2 top-line starters, I think, all told for under $30 million. I mean, pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good. I don't have the numbers for Green in front of me, but if you remember, when Green got his contract, there were people who were saying, I'm not sure this is going to work out. Now he's making an average of like 8.5 per season.
Yeah.
That's an incredible bargain.
I mean, it may be a lot to ask for him to stay healthy, but if he stays healthy with this, I mean, he hasn't been healthy for a full season yet since he sort of found it, but he has everything that he's doing is right. And I think if he's healthy, he's going to be a dominant pitcher for a long time to come because everything he's done is right. There is not an outlier in any of that guy's numbers. Every year he's gotten better at everything he needed to get better at. And, I mean, numbers don't lie sometimes. I think he's going to be dominant for a while.
All right, so that's kind of a big story in baseball. And the All-Star break officially ends, I guess, in like 5 minutes?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So there you go.
Little Phillies ball tonight. Right?
Yeah, there's only one game in the majors tonight, Philly and the Mets, both the Pirates. And the Pirates will be in Cleveland to take on the Guardians tomorrow night, and the Reds will play the Rockies. Now, that is in Cincinnati, right?
No, it's a West Coast.
Denver?
Yeah, they're starting a West Coast trip. So Colorado followed by the Mariners.
All right, let's take a break. We'll come back and wrap it up for the day in a minute.
Every day, we fight to preserve magnificent places and wildlife, to keep our water and air safe, and to advance clean energy and combat climate change. We're Earth Justice, a national legal nonprofit fighting for your right to a healthy environment. We're Earth Justice, and we're here because the Earth needs a good lawyer. No one fights and wins more cases on the environment than we do. Want to join us in this fight? The time is now. Go to earthjustice.org today. That's earthjustice.org.
I was proud to be a soldier.
I told the truth and got kicked out. And so I thought to myself, I'm taking this rule down.
If you're an LGBTQ+ veteran, your memories are important too. Share your story with the Library of Congress Veterans History Project, where firsthand accounts from U.S. military veterans are preserved and made accessible for researchers and future generations. Visit loc.gov/vets to submit your stories, photographs, and documents today.
Veterans, plan ahead to ensure your loved ones are protected at the end of your life. Include a copy of your discharge papers with your will. Apply for VA life insurance. Write your healthcare decisions in a living will. Review survivor's benefits. Explore VA burial options with a pre-need application. Don't wait. Visit va.gov/plan-ahead to learn more.
What's on your to-do list? Check your mail? Get groceries? How about getting your annual vaccines? We can help you check that off.
You've got this.
Yes, you do. Because we've got you. With local vaccine events and access to transportation, protecting yourself and your loved ones is not a chore anymore.
You've got this.
A message from the Aging and Disability Vaccination Collaborative, powered by U.S. Aging. Funded by the U.S. Administration for Community Living through a grant to U.S. Aging. Learn more at yougotthis.usaging.org.
Children are the greatest joy and our best hope for a better future. Friends, they are the future. But did you know that millions of kids are facing hunger every day? Food is not just food. It's energy, health, confidence, hope, and even love. Yes, love.
Thank you!
Learn more about how No Kid Hungry is helping end child hunger in America at helpnokidhungry.org.
The YMCA is just a starting line.
For the true self blooms only when we find our purpose, what makes us tick below the surface. My why is diversity and unity, a safe space in my community, living with sincerity, giving every day my everything. With my why, I stand strong, seen and supported all along. It's a million faces in a mirror and everyone belongs. Find your why. Learn more at ymca.org for a better us.
Ask yourself what you will miss more, your children or cigarettes. As long as I can remember, my mother smoked. She died from lung cancer when I was 16. I could not take the chance of continuing smoking and not being here for my daughter. I know how much I needed my mom still, and I didn't realize it until I had lost her.
You're not just quitting for yourself. For free help, call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. A message from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
All right, folks, that's going to do it for the show today. We thank you so much for listening. Sending your answers to our question of the day and more. A lot of that stuff's going to end up in the follow-up file tomorrow at around 3:50. Stay tuned for the news at the top of the hour. Sportsline is on the other side. My name's Dave Weekley. I'll talk to you tomorrow, beginning at 3:06, right here on Metro News, the voice of West Virginia.
On the Metro News Network is presented by Salango Law, salangolaw.com. Hear Hotline weekdays from 3 until 6 on this Metro News station or wvmetronews.com. Visit the site or your favorite podcast service for past shows and features. This has been Hotline, presented by Salango Law on Metro News, the voice of West